Alright, so welcome to Nomad Willy here in my location. Well, I say it's my location. I haven't actually set up here yet. I'm looking for the perfect location to set up and sort of hide away for a little bit while I get this homelessness situation sorted out. I don't want to be one of these guys that are in tents in town centres and having people walking by me too much. So I'm a little bit off the beaten path. There is a public walkway there, but the spot I'm seeing right now, which is just in there. Yeah, it's just enough to not really be spotted too much. Not really going to have too much here. I've got a friend who lives close by who's going to keep all my valuable stuff, so it's always really going to be here is my tent, my blow-up mattress, my duvet, my little power pack for the USB to keep my phone going, and food bits and pieces. That's probably going to be better. I'm not really going to keep too much valuable on me, apart from maybe the camera and my phone, so we can make these episodes of Nomad Willy. So I'm not your typical nomad. I'm just someone who's recently become homeless after sofa surfing around and losing partners and things of that nature. I'm also disabled. I've got a spine compression issue, so walking around can be quite an issue for me as well. So I can't climb up too high. I can't really get too into the wilderness because I may not get back out because of my health condition. So I have to find somewhere that's a little bit off the beaten path, but not too far off the beaten path, if that makes any sense. Right, so maybe not so perfect because you can literally see me in the path there, which is a bit of an issue, but I don't want to be getting seen too much, so this might be a good temporary location for a little bit while the council get their fingers out their arse, but I'm not sure. I like the spot though, so I might, because it's easier for me. And yeah, I mean, most people are quite tolerable these days. Most people know that there's a lot of homeless issues going on right now. I'm quite used to seeing people in tents, so if anyone comes along and that's what's going on, I'll explain I'm homeless and this is where I've pitched up, and if anyone's got a problem with that, I'll just move along and try and find somewhere else. Nomad Willy style, people. Well, that's one spot that I found, so I'm considering it, but I'm sure there's plenty of other places that I can have a look at before, so I'm going to keep looking, but for now, potential spot one. So the reason I decided to come out this way, because I notice a lot of homeless people tend to come to the city centres and stay quite public with where they are and where they're staying. They're staying in doorways. I don't really want people seeing me in doorways and stuff like that. You know, I've built quite a reputation being who I am within my media world and things that I've done. I don't really want people walking past me in the city centre seeing stuff like that. Making a channel in a page like this is a bit different because they may or may not see it, but more time they probably won't. Where if they saw me in person, it's a bit different. But yeah, not sure, but I might have just found something else. So a little bit of a slope there, which is I don't like slopes right now because of my condition, but as it goes away from winter into summer, it won't be so bad. This spot is sort of perfect though, apart from that little footbridge thing down there. See if I can get to it without falling over. So if I give myself a bit of a harsher time with this disability than I need to, I'm just cautious because I'm trying not to make it work. Okay, so this is like a little dock. Okay. Alright. So potentially dog walkers and tourists who know which may come down to the foot. But this flat area here with not too many fallen branches or anything like that may not be too bad. So that's two potential spots, both not great spots, but both potential spots. Alright, so continuing on what I was saying before about having to come out here and do it in the woods rather than being around like doorways and in city centres and stuff like that. I'm not a beggar. Okay, I do have somewhat of an income, and as a homeless person in the UK you can still claim universal credit and PIP as long as you've got a postal address. So I'm not pipped up yet, but I do have my universal credit, and I also make money on the side doing this. But I do declare it with my job centre. This is some scam thing. I'm doing it all properly by the book. I just happen to be living in a tent right now. I'm not sure what's down there, But I'm going to take a quick look and see if there's any spot down it. No, no, it's just too slopey, way too many sticks, way too many falling branching opportunities. Yeah, this isn't a good spot for me. It's worth having a look though. Alright, so 3 spots so far, 2 somewhat maybe okay, 1 definitely not. So let's keep going. So as I continue walking looking for more spots, keep talking about why I've decided to come out here. So I've told you why I'm out here, and the reason I've come to a woods rather than being in the city centres and doorways and stuff like that. Mentioned that I'm disabled and find it quite hard to walk around. So why woodlands? Because back in the day, and this may sound a bit stupid, but I was in the army cadets for a very long time, from 13 to like 18. And over those years, the amount of camps they took us on into the woodlands, taught us how to build shelters, how to cook food in the wild, you know, what to get, what to use, how to stay dry, how to keep your stuff dry, how to stay warm, how to look after yourself in the wild, all that kind of stuff. And I remember all of it. Like, literally just starting to think about coming to live in a tent in the woods opened it all up in my mind again. Hold on. I thought I found a spot, but I definitely did not. So far, only a couple of sort of okay spots. These dreaded steps. So, there are these steps up there. Let me turn the camera around a minute. There are these steps that lead up there into like the woodlands a bit more. With my disability, getting up may be a bit of an issue, but getting back down will definitely be an issue for me. Like just stepping down without a banister or a wall or something to lean on is a massive issue for me. So yeah, I think that kind of cuts that idea out. Alright, so it's not really anywhere that's not overly public without I'm just trying to climb into the woods, and with my disability there's no climbing, it's not happening. So I'm just gonna wing it for the first couple of nights and see what happens. I'm gonna put the tent in that little corner, the first spot that I found in that little corner. I'm gonna put it down there, and I'm gonna scope out what it's like during the day down there and how many people tend to come by, how many people tend to be there during the day, and then kind of scope it. It might be a case of just got to collapse a tent every day and put it back up in the evening, but that wouldn't be too suitable. I'd rather just leave it there, but we'll see. We'll definitely see. So for now we found temporary locations until we find somewhere else. Thing is, once you've told the council where you are in your tent, they got to find you to do a welfare check, which also makes sure you're homeless. They say it's a welfare check, it's just to actually make sure you're homeless. So yeah, I'm literally just kind of waiting for them to find me. So I'm gonna go and get my tent now from my mate's house, who looks after my stuff while I'm busy. I'm gonna go get the tent. I'm gonna set up, and yeah. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go get my tent, get a bunch of food, get my cooking stuff, get my firelighters, find a bunch of firewood, and yeah. In fact, I might get the firewood first, so I can mark the spot with the firewood when I come back, and then I can get a fire going as I'm getting the tent sorted. Right, let's go. I don't know how smart this is, but at the end of the day, the council do need to find me, so I can't just hide in the woods where they won't see me. So I found a little side path here. There's the like public footpath. Then there's a little bit here, and then there's like a little bit of trees. And there's a fence here, and there's some bits in there that if I spend some time kind of rearranging and moving the wood and all that kind of stuff, I could probably cotch in there for a good couple of weeks, and hopefully the council will find me within those few weeks. But yeah, I think that's going to be the first place that I give a go. So before I bring the tent here, I'm actually going to have a test run. So I'm actually staying in my friend's garden for the first few nights while I get this thing sorted out. So I'm going to bring my pots, so I'm going to bring my canteens up here, I'm going to bring my firelighters, I'm going to get some food, and I'm going to do a test run of cooking up here and see how many people come through. And I'm also going to sit around and have a bit of a smoke and just gauge how many people come through, because so far I've seen a family of 4 older people coming through and a dog walker, but that's only been in the last like hour, so that's not too bad. It's a little bit public, but maybe these people walking through will either take pity or even alert the council that I'm here, rather than trying to get me to move on. But we will see. We'll see. So yeah, I hope you're enjoying the episode so far. It's exciting stuff, isn't it? So to get ahead of myself, before I'll go back and get food and bring food up here to cook and get all my bits and pieces to cook with. Gonna gather up enough firewood for tonight's cooking and put it here ready, so when I get back all I gotta do is get it started, rather than having to get back here when it's a bit darker trying to find firewood. So yeah, cooking up a fire so we can get some dinner started. Tonight we're having a simple dish, just gonna have pasta with a bit of tomato soup with a little bit of salami chucked in there. And yeah, nice and simple for our first evening's meal. So we got it going pretty well, pretty well. Nearly cooking time. Right, we're cooking. Doing alright. We've got pasta on the go now, let's check on the pasta a little bit. Yeah, we're getting there. Slowly but surely, it's heating up in there. Yeah, not bad going for our first night out, is it? Not bad at all. Yeah, blood.